as part of the expansion at Oaklawn this year. It is the Silks Bar and Grill in Oaklawn's Gaming Center. And I don't know if you've seen any pictures of this place, Pat, but it is lovely. I cannot wait to get down there and take advantage of the new game room. In fact, we're going to be there 1 week from tomorrow, and I'm very excited about it. So, again, you can go down there this weekend, have a lot of fun, and if you've got reservations to stay somewhere in Oaklawn and you can't get back next week, go on down. Have some fun at the simulcast and have some fun at the restaurants and have some fun in the gaming area. It's a lot of fun at Oaklawn, always, even when they're not running. But unfortunately, the horses will have to wait another week to show their skills, my friends. We bring Jim Harrison on the Sticky's Rock and Roll Chicken Shack hotline from Sporting Live Arkansas. Jim Harris, how are you?
Hey, good morning.
Good.
How are you, Dustin?
Very good. Appreciate you finagling your schedule to come on with us. We are in the middle of our year in review, and so we have a good time with that. We're kind of taking a look back on the year that was. We are up to Germany defeating Argentina in the World Cup, so we'll put that on hold for a while. Arkansas just wins its first SEC game, and speaking of year in review, is a far cry from the way they started the season in 2014. What is your opinion and impression of this team as they continue SEC play this weekend?
Well, I mean, it's better than the way they started on the road. The last 2 years at A&M, and it's just not been a real good way to start SEC play on the road. I really feared for this game that they'd be 0-1. I didn't really give it much of a chance to get out of there, just because I think Georgia's a pretty strong team. But Arkansas really looked good and in control, and Georgia hit that kind of emotional wall by about the 10-minute mark of the second half. I thought they didn't have a lot left. Now, they got something going there in the last couple of seconds, with some wild stuff. But, hey, good play all the way around. I tell you, I can't get enough of the energy and just being around the ball with Anton Beard and Manny Watkins as backup guards off the bench. Those guys are if you break down what they did to Georgia's backcourt and held those three guys down, they didn't. That's the guys who were going to really beat you. And during the time that they were on the court, I think they were on for a combined 42 minutes. They really did a great job of keeping the perimeter from scoring or controlling the game, and that's something that's probably unsung. Stat-wise, you look at the stats and see Alandis Harris, my dear cousin, hitting 7 of 8 from the field. That's anytime he hits 7 of 8, you just got to chalk that up as a good night. I mean, I think he's a good player, but I think 7 of 8 is going to be a rare night.
Well, he's had 2 good games in a row, though. I mean, he lit it up in the last game.
He has, and I mean, now he's started finding everything, his groove. He had to sit out a year. Then last year he sort of had to, find his way. It's not unlike a junior college transfer in a way. I mean, it doesn't just happen. I know Pat Bradley was able to come out there as a freshman and, be a star with Kareem
Actually,
Reed,
what's interesting is I went back and I looked just to kind of have a perspective, because we are always prisoners of the moment. And I think about it, and I ended up at the end of my freshman year starting the majority of the games, and average over 10 points a game, went to the Sweet 16. But I barely sniffed a few minutes for like the first 10 games, and which is pretty amazing when you look at how fast Anton Beard has adjusted to the speed of the game, the physicality of the game. So it doesn't happen too often, and I don't want to get caught up in how great he's playing now, because he's still a freshman and he's still going to have some freshman moments. But you can't help but love what he's doing now. It's just amazing how he's been able to transition so quickly.
Arkansas is back on the court 3:30 on Saturday against Vanderbilt, and I was going to say all the good they did at Georgia can be undone with a loss at home to Vanderbilt. I didn't realize that Vanderbilt actually is 11-3 and 1-0 in conference play, so they're maybe a little better than I had expected.
Real surprising to me that they've been able to rebuild. I thought they'd be down a little longer, but they have played well. They don't typically play well in Fayetteville. It's just history there.
Nobody does.
Arkansas,
no. I read this morning, Jim, that
doesn't play well on the road, and they did. So things can be different. Go ahead.
I read a story this morning that Kevin Stallings was actually going to coach this game from the end line.
That might work. he can set his team up maybe in those the seats down on the end where the media used to be. You know, just put them down, ask for those seats.
Mm-hmm.
It might give them a whole different feel. Arkansas has a great chance if they protect home against. Yes, I think Vanderbilt's a team that could come in and shoot well and win. Ole Miss is a team that really could come in next weekend with their guards and the way the Northwestern State guards played against Arkansas. You got to wonder if at least Arkansas' starting lineup, if it can defend guards that well. I'm still worried about the defense that they get from the guys who start on the perimeter. I mean, Qualls gets his hands on a lot of balls placed hard. I'm not knocking him. You know, he does so many things. There's always a guy in your lineup that's not, you know, your ace defender. But a guy like Kai Madden's got to bring it on the defensive end. If he's going to put a big 0 up on the offensive end like he did the other night, he's still got to be, you know, everywhere on defense, causing havoc. And then, I spoke about Harris sort of being a junior college transfer in a way. He transferred from Houston, but taking that year to have to get, you know, used to the SEC. Well, the same thing's happening for Durham. He's having to feel his way through. I think he's a better offensive player than he's shown. He hit 1-3 the other night, but he's learning defensively. I just think the good thing is that Arkansas can go to their bench and get 20 minutes out of Watkins and Beard. And even if they don't give them great offense, if they're in a situation where Portis is on, you know, Qualls is on, they're getting scoring from Harris, you're getting 3 guys putting up the points they're doing. You can put 2 guys like Beard and Watkins out there who will get you a basket or 2, but they'll cause a lot of problems out front with the guards. And that's what it's going to take against like an Ole Miss that comes in and is going to be bombing it. They're not the Ole Miss with the bruisers inside. They're more, you know, lift-like, athletic inside. Quicker maybe inside than they used to be, but they're going to be more of a finesse-y kind of team. And then they got Alabama coming in. I don't know what to say about Alabama. I did watch a little bit of that A&M game, but they're getting better. It's been a long road for that program getting back too, just like Arkansas. But if Arkansas can protect home against those teams, and Tennessee is a beatable team on the road, I think Missouri's a beatable team on the road, you got a chance to get a ton of momentum going with a 6-0 start. And not to put it too far ahead, but take care of Vanderbilt. You know, get to 2-0.
Yeah, we can look ahead though.
Don't get to 6-0, but from a fan perspective, we're not playing the game or whatever. It looks really good for them to get off to, you know, a third of the season and get through it unscathed. That they keep playing like they did the last 20 minutes of the game at Athens.
A couple other quick notes here. Arkansas hosting Texas State in 2016. It was announced this morning, so that will round out, or at least, I guess, be added to the non-conference slate of La Tech and TCU. And, of course, next year it's Texas Tech, UTEP, Toledo, and Tennessee. Martin, speaking of Texas State, UALR is playing at Texas State in Sunbelt basketball tonight. The UALR Trojans are 0-3 in conference play. Hopefully win numero uno comes as part of a doubleheader tonight at Strahan Coliseum down in San Marcos, Texas. And before we let you go, saw a note today, Jim, we're luckily going to have live coverage of the national championship game. Trey Schapp's heading down to be live there on Monday and Tuesday, and that is brought to us by First Arkansas Bank and Trust, and we certainly appreciate their support of the buzz and of this coverage. I saw a story here that Ohio State's going to get extra practice time because their kids are yet to go back to school. Meanwhile, Oregon has a limit of 20 countable hours of practice time because they are back in school already. And I guess a lot of people are saying, really, Ohio State kids go to school, huh? The other thing is, I don't know if that'll have any impact, but what are your thoughts on the game quickly before we let you go?
I think Ohio State is extremely talented. Talented in a way to match Oregon athletically, like Auburn did maybe 4 years ago. It won't surprise me to see Ohio State win. I love the way Oregon looks, though. I think they're a more physical program than they were in the national championship game against Auburn. I think that they can, play physical, play fast, and you would think they have the best quarterback out on the field. And most cases, I guess the best quarterback ought to win. If all things being equal,
yeah.
Let's see the guy who won the Heisman win it all. So I look just for a really exciting ball game. I'd like to be there too. It's in a great setting. What I've noticed about this game is it's still not college football's national championship game and set up like it is now, almost like the Super Bowl of college football. Still hasn't gotten that kind of build-up like you see with the NFL.
Yeah, Pat and I have a bet. The Super Bowl got 111 million viewers last year. The playoff games got like 28 million for the semifinal games. I say they're going to get 30 million plus. Pat says less than the 28 million, but we'll see what happens.
No, it's not going to be less than 28 million. I think 35 million will probably tune in for it.
Okay. We'll see.
And I think it'll be a thrilling night.
And you like Oregon, though, in a close one?
Where are we watching it locally?
I'm going to watch it at my house. You want to come over?
Well, if you got things going at your house, that sounds good. Just tell me where
cook
to be.
for you.
My wife will be there.
Mashed cauliflower.
If that's things going, then yes, it's going to be a wild soiree. Jim, we got to hit a break.
I'll whip you up some gumbo if you need it. Okay, I go a field goal. Oregon by field goal.
Okay.
So, I got to go too.
Take the 7 points in Ohio State.
Okay.
Is what I'm really saying.
I like that. Give him a little betting advice, too. Jim, I appreciate it.
See you later.
All right, see you, buddy. 11:54. Back in a minute.